Let's go!
It's a Thursday morning practice for the Arkansas Razorbacks.
See what you got, 1-5. 1, 2, 3, drive it. Don't get out of your framework. Hey, you were here.
Just weeks away from their first season under head coach Chad Morris.
Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. Tuck it. Let's go. Get up. Let's go.
After practice, Coach Morris introduces his players to a special guest.
You guys get your hands together for Brenda Tracy.
Thank you, Coach. Hi, guys. My name is Brenda Tracy.
Brenda is a speaker, an activist, and a survivor.
So we're going to start back in 1998. I know it's a long time ago, but I was in my early 20s.
Brenda tells the players she was given a mixed drink at a small late-night gathering, and after a few sips, she passed out.
The first time I came to some consciousness, I became immediately aware that I was laying on my back on the living room floor. I was naked, and I couldn't move my body. I couldn't move my arms or my legs. I could move my head, and so the first thing I did is I turned and I looked this direction, and the first man was trying to force his penis into my mouth. So I turned from him and I looked this direction, and the second man was trying to force his penis into my mouth. So I turned from him and I looked up, and the third man was raping me, and the fourth man was next to him and he was stroking himself, waiting for his turn.
What do you see in the players' faces while you're telling your story?
I see them fidgeting, looking down. Some of them start to get teary-eyed and cry. The next time I came to some consciousness, one of the men was cradling me in his arm, and they were pouring a bottle of hard alcohol down my throat.
Brenda tells them that the 4 men who assaulted her were football players.
I know from police reports and statements that my attack lasted for about 6 hours.
Police investigated the assault, but prosecutors never pressed charges. 2 of the suspects played at Oregon State. Head coach Mike Riley gave them a 1-game suspension, saying they had made, quote, a bad choice. 16 years later, when Brenda finally talked publicly about the case, Riley, then at Nebraska, reached out with an apology and asked Brenda to address his team, an experience that launched her public speaking career.
I just felt like a piece of trash. I didn't even feel like a human. I could have just been a piece of garbage they just forgot on the floor and went to bed. I literally could have just been a red Solo cup.
Brenda now shares her story at campuses nationwide, and her Set the Expectation campaign is a call to action for athletes to hold each other accountable to prevent sexual assault. Some of the nation's top coaches have welcomed her. One of the first was Coach Morris, when he was at SMU.
He's been on board since day one, and he's been a friend and an ally of mine and one of my biggest supporters, and I want him to be the future of what college football coaches look like.
To stop sexual violence, to stop domestic violence, you got to go to the source. You have to go to the source. And the source is the man. And, and so what can we do? I'm fortunate enough to have the platform to impact a lot of lives.
And I remember at one point they were laughing and high-fiving each other.
Last week, Chad Morris became the first coach of a major program to allow media cameras in the room during Brenda's talk.
And I'll tell you that I target men, and I target male athletes, and I do that for a reason. I am not here because I think you're the problem. I am not here because I think you're the problem. I am here because I know that you are the solution.
Everybody knows who you are. And for you to be out there and to be able to hold each other accountable, maybe you're put in a situation, and that situation escalates, you got a decision to make, right? Because actions of a few do what? Impact many. You're the next generation. You're the next leaders. And man, you got an opportunity to impact lives like none other. So again, thank you. Let's give her another hand.
Brenda says at the end of every presentation, she sees the impact her story has on players.
So much. It's powerful.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you for coming
Thank
and speaking
you.
with us.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
Thank you. I appreciate you. They don't just leave. They come up, they shake my hand, they give me hugs, they say thank you. They share their stories with me. You know, I was asked not too long ago, you know, if I could go back, would I change anything? And I think I absolutely today could say I wouldn't. I would, if I could go back and stop my gang rape, I wouldn't do it. That kind of makes me want to cry. Because it's so painful. But at the same time, the fact that I can use that pain to help others makes it all worth it.